Hey, your viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to Project Eden's Garden Chapter 1. So, episode 14 now, and we are about to get into our first murder investigation. Rather, our first proper murder investigation, I should say. Obviously, there was an investigation in the prologue, though obviously that was for a murder long past. But now, Wolfgang Accuray, the Ultimate Lawyer, is our first true victim of this particular killing game, and we need to find out who killed him. So, one of my predictions, at least, has turned out right there. I knew Wolfgang was going to be a victim. It just felt like someone would off him at some point. But as I said previously, what I am surprised by is that he's died so soon. Because, I think myself and probably a lot of people in the fan community had him kind of pegged as being very much the antagonist to Damon's protag, and therefore, presumably, he would be around for quite a while until one of the later chapters. Nope. Looks like the dev team of this one are subverting our expectations a bit by killing that guy off straight away. So I would assume that probably an antagonistic character is going to appear after this at some point, but we'll see. So, obviously, I guess the remainder of this release is doing the investigation and then the trial. So I'm planning on having another recording session today. At the very least, sorry, let me try that again, I garbled it. At the very least today, I'm going to try to play through the investigation. I don't know if I'll get through the trial today, maybe I will, or maybe I'll leave that till tomorrow. It's a weekend, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm recording on a Saturday, so I may have time, if not today, tomorrow perhaps, to record the trial itself. So I'm really looking forward to this. I already have a few hypotheses about what may or may not have gone down in this particular case, but obviously, at this point we don't yet have any truth bullets, so as we acquire those we can reflect on my hypotheses to see do they actually stack up. Yeah, because obviously Wolfgang's body's over there, and there's he's a bit fuzzy and low res at the moment, so we'll probably see it in a second. Let me do what I did last time and look back over the tablet first. Yes, the not Monokuma file, but the Tozu tablet. The victim is Wolfgang Accuray, the Ultimate Lawyer. He was discovered in the boiler room on the underground floor. Kneeling in the water. It's funny because what it says here, what Damon's saying, and what it actually says, as you can see on the CG there, is actually slightly different. It says on there he's submerged in the water in a kneeling position, leaning over the concrete platform. But Damon says he's kneeling in the water, upper body slumped over the concrete platform. I don't know if that's a little oversight or if that's meant to be a bit of a discrepancy that might come into play later, I don't know. But you will notice, of course, that he has got what appears to be a little streak of blood in his hair, which I'm curious about. Estimated time of death is approximately 9:35 AM. So, what's going to be important here, I think, is with the game tournament and the blackout that occurred, figuring what time exactly did that blackout happen. Did it happen after 9:35 AM, in which case Wolfgang's body will have already been down there and he'll already been dead? Or did it happen about roughly the same time, meaning he was killed during the blackout? You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I think they commented, didn't they, last episode, that he has a bit of a look of terror on his face, which to me implies that, well, the thing, what I should say is, I think there are one of two possibilities we could infer from that. Either A, my current hypothesis that someone had that stun gun thing, discharged it into the water to electrocute him, and of course the reason he has a look of terror is because obviously that wouldn't kill him immediately. Or maybe he did see his killer, he actually caught sight of them, realised what was up just before they killed him. But we'll see. Still pissed me off seeing everything except the cause of death listed, especially when I knew the reason why. Cause of death. When we investigated the dummy's murder, the tablet explicitly said she died from blood loss. This tablet, it doesn't list Wolfgang's cause of death anywhere. Of course, saying otherwise would make things too easy. The tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have equal chance of success. Tozu's definitely compensating for the killer, probably because they failed to hide their own tracks. Obviously there was also the thing during the blackout where all of us who were in the game tournament split into pairs and went into different rooms down here, and then we heard someone running down the length of the corridor. So just to reiterate, you know, I have a couple of ideas in terms of what that might be, depending on something else. So obviously the one thing we haven't established yet, I don't think, unless it was established in the prologue and I've just forgotten, is that body discovery announcements in this particular killing game, do they play when at least 3 people discover the body for the first time? And obviously among those 3, I'm assuming that doesn't count the murderer. So my initial thought was maybe the person who we heard running back down the corridor maybe was the murderer. But then again, I'm also thinking about DR2, Case 2, where you saw Hiyoko, spoilers, running from the beach house. So it could be that someone else was in here and they fled, maybe because they saw the body, or maybe they were just freaked out by the blackout, I don't know. Because bear in mind, when we heard those footsteps, the blackout was still in effect. So if someone, a third party, was in here, would they have seen the body? That's the question. And withdrawing information might be his way of balancing the odds.
I won't lose.
Bullshit rules. Who's to say they won't be abused? Regardless, Wolfgang's cause of death should be treated as the crux of this mystery. If I can figure out how he died, then everything else should fall into place. Okay, Tozu trinket. Yes, truth bullets, there we are. Alas, poor Wolfgang. The guiding light of the ultimate student snuffed out in an instant. No use crying over it, though. There's a mystery to be solved. Like any true investigation, important evidence won't always be visible on first glance. Use F3 to view the game's controls. They'll be logged by the Tozu trinket, the truth bullets, that is. F1. In case you need a reminder. Just a quick reminder of controls, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so press F. What can we look at? Ooh. Okay, I was wondering if maybe we could look at the pipes in the background, because, you know, these over here. Because from the CG before, when we saw Wolfgang's body, it kind of looked like there were handprints on those. But now I'm looking at it, I don't know if that's actually the case. And obviously you can't examine it here, so unless the game's going to pull some sort of like trickery on me, where it's like, oh, you can't examine this now, but if you're observant enough you might have noticed it. Kind of like V3 with the, you know, Case 1, the friggin' Rube Goldberg contraption that Kaide set up. Spoilers. Sip some of my coffee. Right, so I'm seeing a couple of things here though that are interesting. This cord, which I don't think I saw before. Yeah, that's definitely a stun gun, it's a taser. Interesting. So it looks like there's something back there we should be able to click, but maybe not. And there's this blood trail here, which... okay, it sort of stands out there. Obviously we didn't see that before because we were probably distracted by everything else. Okay, right, well, I think we just get on and investigate, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is there something back there? A knife. Okay, we definitely didn't see that before. Can we look at that? Shrapnel. Okay, there's quite a few interesting things in here. Let's look at this blood trail first, shall we? Just drinking more of my coffee. It's a nice vanilla latte macchiato. There's blood speckled across the floor. I didn't notice it at first due to the room's restricted lighting, but now, after my eyes had time to adjust, it couldn't be more obvious.
I see.
Looks like it passes into the hallway too. Completely missed these, does it? Okay. Speaking of, after the body discovery announcement, everyone barged into the boiler room through this door. Yet these blood spots don't look smudged. Guessing they were already dry by the time any of us got here. In which case, could this be Wolfgang's blood? Weird. Okay. So yes, evidently there's a third party down here who knows something. Was there a scuffle down here? Because there's a knife, there's shrapnel, whatever that is, and there's the fucking taser. I mean, we don't really have enough information yet, let's keep going. Right, blood spots on the floor, and apparently they trail into the hallway, according to Damon. Alright, well, should we look at this cord down here? Oh, there it is. Is this the thing, maybe, that... ah... Interesting. Could it be maybe that it wasn't the stun gun that was used to electrify? Maybe this was it? There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. Togami, where are you? But what the hell happened to the other end of it? There was no internal plug, just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the cord been burnt? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe? Wasn't always in this condition, that's for sure. All the items we've been provided so far, light bulbs, speakers, a fridge, they've worked perfectly well. So what happened to this cord? Why was it even in the water? Okay. That's interesting, it says it's burnt. See, I did raise a possibility in one of the previous episodes when we were at the game tournament. So either the game tournament is a way of getting a bunch of characters some alibis, but could it be the case that maybe someone set up a trap down here that basically didn't require them to be physically present in order to kill somebody? That's just what I'm curious about. I don't entirely know. And as a result, all someone has to do is set off the trap. Because it says like the shrapnel there. Did someone literally set up like an explosive charge or something? Not even necessarily a big powerful one, but having said that, I feel like if it was an explosion, you'd hear it. Even if just a small one, you just have boom, like that, kind of. Sorry, I probably just blasted out my microphone. Incidentally, also, I am using a new headset, ladies and gentlemen, because I noticed in the last couple of episodes, whenever I was doing Jet's voice, the volume of my voice kept fluctuating quite wildly in a way that I don't think it's ever done before. And the thing is, I've been trying to record other games for the channel recently. I keep running to that issue where sometimes the sound in the headset will go out, so hopefully, you know, new headset means no more little issues like that. Right, I've got the extension cord, that's good. Look at the taser. What's the deal with this thing? Taser gun? Pretty random thing to be lying around a crime scene. Definitely wasn't in the boiler room prior to the murder either. Does that mean this taser gun was involved? On closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Is there a way to tell whether it's actually been fired? I.e., as if its charge has been depleted? Had it even been used? Pretty sure taser guns dispense some kind of wire when fired. Yeah, that is how they work, isn't it? It like shoots a barb on a wire and delivers an electrical shock. Nearby were some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor. They were same shade of yellow as the taser. Had these originally been attached to it? I don't see those. Can't tell where they fit on the gun though. Never mind. What's the point in making guesses when we can just get him to confirm? Are we saying Desmond? You think he might know something about these? After all, someone who's a pro... Yeah, okay, it's got to be Desmond then. Should know them better than anyone else. Okay. So Ava showed us that she had Desmond's envelope, his secret. We'll have to talk to her in a second and get a reminder of what that was. We'll also review the Tozer trinkets, truth bullets rather, that we've acquired so far in a second. Let's not look at the body, let's look at the generator first. Half the generator's internals had melted away, and what still remained was almost completely singed. Huh. A fire? Maybe it was like a little explosion. Maybe that, well, when the blackout occurred, the moment it happened, technically there was like a loud noise, wasn't there? But I just thought that was the sound of the power giving out. Maybe there was more. Maybe there was like a boom sort of thing. Yeah, this is definitely the cause of the power outage. What could have melted the wires though? Like a bomb had gone off in it, unless someone used a taser. Just lined themselves up before the blackout happened. And just, I don't know, placed themselves on the concrete platform and then discharged the taser at an angle into the generator to like short circuit it or something. God, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Looked like a bomb had gone off in here.
That's...
I think about it during the game tournament. Oh, is it going to remind us? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it was a loud noise. So that's the mode. Okay, so we did hear sort of like a... not quite a full explosion, but certainly like a boom kind of. Huh? All of a sudden the world around me turned pitch black. So there was a sound. There'd been a loud boom right before the blackout happened. Similar to a firework going off or someone firing a gun. Okay, so, yeah, like I said, I just thought it was the sound of the power just boom, going out like that. But I guess, no, there was more to it.
That's...
Did I overhear the sound of the generator being destroyed? It's quite possible that you did. So... Okay, so maybe the taser, yeah, was fired into the generator to short-circuit it. Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that kind of noise, I don't think. Okay, that's been added. If my assumption is correct, the generator would have been destroyed around the same time the murder was committed. That's suspicious as hell. There's no way the two events aren't connected. But I'm also working purely off my memory of the boom. To be absolutely sure, I need to know when exactly the blackout... Yes, you do. You need to see, does the time of death and the time of the blackout roughly marry up? Is there any way for me to find that out? Talk to people, probably. They'll tell you. Let's look at the shrapnel then. Over here. Chunks of something red were floating nearby the generator. I'd probably just say near the generator, but yeah. Almost look like metal or maybe plastic. Were these originally part of the generator? The colours and material don't seem to match though. Weird. I suppose it's something to do with that extension cord. Did someone rig up a freaking charge of some kind? And again, like, Dave was saying that he has no way to tell if the taser's actually been used. So it might be that that's... Maybe the taser is just something that isn't part of the murder, I don't know. Can I look at the knife, please? Oh. So it's in a bit of an odd position, this, in the water. Oh god, it's a kitchen knife. It looks almost exactly like the one friggin' in DR Trigger Happy Havoc Case 1. How is a knife floating in the water? It's a very lightweight knife if it can float. On the blade in the surrounding water I could make something out. Blood? Yeah, unmistakable colour of blood. It's been slightly washed out, obviously. No doubt about it. This knife must have something to do with the murder. I mean, there's... Thing is, if there's someone else down here, or was someone else who obviously ran away, could it be that... I'm just wondering, could it be maybe someone lurked down here with the intention of killing someone, but maybe didn't? And maybe someone else, unbeknownst to them, had set up a charge, and that's the thing that killed Wolfgang? So there's maybe about 3 different people, including the victim, involved here. Maybe there was a scuffle and a fight, I don't know. Why the knife was here and not actually on the platform, I had no idea. That is a good question, and I am wondering here if... Could it be that someone... I don't know. Someone attacked Wolfgang with the knife, hence the slight blood on his head, but they only got like a little grazing blow because maybe he tried to dodge, and then they dropped the knife or something, I don't know. Alright, so let's look at the body next. I'll inspect the rest of the scene. Okay, right, never mind. It wants us to do the body last. Was there anything else, just object-wise, before I start clicking elsewhere? Cord over there. Right, maybe it wants us to talk to everyone. Right, Winona, I'll talk to you first.
Hello?
You're still here?
Seriously?
Is there a problem with that, you fucking bastard? I wish you need to frame everything I say in the worst light. I'm preparing to hold a one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that.
It's simple.
The blackout. Were you still with Ulysses when it happened?
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no... Oh. Interesting. Where were you then? So the blackout was only part of the site then? Yeah, she can't be serious. That blackout affected the entire building, unless...
Anyways.
Well, let me rephrase. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At Cassidy's game tournament in the dining hall.
Oh, really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Let me see.
Ulysses and I spent this morning... Oh, wrong voice. Ulysses and I spent this morning by the large tree. We stayed there up to and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Sounded like she had an alibi then. As for the location she mentioned, I assume this entire building complex connected to the one generator. But it made more sense for that tree area to have its own separate system. Hence why it didn't lose power. What about the courtyard though? Was anyone there at the time of the blackout? Okay, so she was in the tree room area. Interesting. Ava, need you to talk to me. Remind me about Desmond's thing. Aren't you going to investigate Wolfgang? Me?
Yeah.
Who else? Back when we mistook that dummy for a body, you poked it pretty nonchalantly.
Hang on.
That's different. I never thought it were real.
I see.
Now that we were finally advancing in the investigation, her cool composure had all but vanished. Typical, I guess. She can only keep up an act for so long. Oh, okay. You're not going to ask about Desmond's thing? Well, I guess Damon has no reason to do that at this point. Ulysses, can you vouch for Winona?
Terrible.
The generator over there is partially submerged in the water. I think we'll be wise to stay on this platform. Was he worried about the water being electrified? Ava and I managed to stand in it way back when. Don't see why now would be any different. Then again, the generator wasn't damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang is near the water, we should avoid touching him.
No.
You don't know for sure if the water's unsafe.
Huh?
Listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Saying that, Ava walked over to a pile of boxes and pulled out a light bulb. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I think I do too. You can see if it lights up if you chuck it in the water. You see, nice to have Danganronpa protagonists who sort of have a clue what's going on. Sure enough, she went straight to the edge of the platform and threw the light bulb into the water.
Look.
See? Not lighting up. That means water is safe.
Well,
I see. Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang.
Okay.
Are you going to? I think I will observe from afar instead. Now isn't the time to be listening to your nerves. Wow, they actually moved his sprite over there. Okay, that's actually a nice little attention to detail. I feel like in mainline Danganronpa games someone would say that, but then the sprite would still be standing in one place. Right, well he didn't actually even say anything about Winona at all there. Unless he says anything now.
Hi.
Why did you move over here? Oh. So,
the struggle.
I feel it's highly important we investigate anything and everything we can. That's why I moved over here to investigate. Well, he didn't want to be near Wolfgang's body. Huh? And what was the first for the investigation? Something other than fear appeared on Ulysses' face. It was curiosity.
Eh?
What is it? Look at the floor in front of the door.
That's...
Oh. Wire? Yes.
Seriously?
It's just a small piece of scrap metal. Don't discount it.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still a part of the crime scene. It necessitates documentation.
That's not important.
Seriously, something this small means nothing. Damon, I just gave you a compliment about how it was nice to see a Danganronpa protagonist who's thinking a bit. Don't suddenly make me walk back on it now. Could have come from the generator or the pipes above us. Ingrid could have been carrying it for all we know. This guy, there's so much he could actually document. Instead he's focusing on some flimsy piece of metal. Okay, no, that's going to be significant. The fact they're drawing attention to it, there's going to be something important about it. And Damon is going to get some comeuppance here. He's going to be like, oh, it's just nothing. Then Ulysses is going to be like, no, I think it actually could be important, and it will turn out to be important, won't it? All the more reason to rely on myself. Well, you've made a mental note of it, Damon, haven't you? I've got to drink up my coffee, it's getting lukewarm. Alright, so talking to him again actually did help. Jean? What are you going to say?
Aye.
Aye, take away for the air. Ain't there something off about it? Followed his instructions and sniffed the air.
That's...
Smells like burnt rubber.
That ain't it.
Because of the busted generator, aye. That's not what I'm talking about. There is another scent, a real bitter one. You might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal and rubbing alcohol.
Bad news.
Indeed. I'm suspecting a mighty chemical reaction at work. Yarr.
Eh?
I've had my fair share of travels across the sea, and I'm no stranger to foul play. There will be no stench worse than one of a disastrous combustion.
It is how it is.
Thing is, I got no idea where it's coming from. Really? The smell is supposedly that of a chemical reaction. Where else could it be coming from beside the busted generator? Unless Jean's conclusion about the smell is wrong. I won't put it past him. That's an interesting, that's an interesting truth bullet. Odd smell, cereal, and... Is that Tozu's... Wait. Tozu's something fruities? Moony fruities? Okay. And... Simon something vodka. Right, feels like I've gotten given the boiler room a good rundown. Which means... Time to look at that body. Just yesterday, Wolfgang was talking with us, eating breakfast with us, and now he's dead. Who had the resolve to commit such a needlessly brutal murder? That's interesting, though. I'm looking at like the stain across his hair. From this angle, it's remarkably straight. How weird. To go so far as to mangle his body? Couldn't unpack it. I didn't know how to. This wasn't just some dummy I had to investigate. This was a real person. It was so far out of my expertise, let alone my comfort zone.
Hello.
Do you want to inspect him? Jump scare, Ava. Holy crap, did you really have to scare me like that? Well, yeah, there we go. Cold coffee. Yeah, I do want to inspect him. It's just the idea of getting close to him.
Where?
I'll investigate with you. It'll be easier for both of us that way. Right?
Right.
Let's do it. Let's have a look at this here body. The music's just gone as well, which is ominous. Wolfgang laid completely still, his face frozen in a look of horror. His once bright eyes were shrouded in darkness, and his mouth was open as if he'd been killed mid-scream. Ava's expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his power to make us outcasts and make the worst of us. At times I even hated him for it, but this brought no relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in his final moments that left him so terrified? Was it the realisation he was about to die? Mulling over the what-ifs won't bring me any closer to solving Wolfgang's murder. Right now, my focus should be to find evidence. That begins by investigating his body. Oh, right, we're on this angle now, are we? Hand. Face. I guess that's part of his face then. Body. Okay, so... Oh, interesting that we can look at his blazer and his body. We'll start with his body in general. Now think about it, the place where Wolfgang laid was odd. What were the chances he would end up here between the only opening of the fence? The one spot where he could kneel over like this? Was it possibly been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? Strange why he didn't use the stairs though. Even stranger that he was even in the water. I'm telling you, something happened down here and he was trying to get clear of the water. Possibly because he was being electrified or something. Alright, so what's with his blazer then? Wolfgang's suit was completely crumpled, a far cry from his once clean appearance. Water had seeped into the pants, completely ruining the fabric. So leaning close, I spotted a folded piece of paper sticking out from his back pocket. Though it was soaked, it wasn't completely destroyed.
Damn.
I really don't want to touch him, but with my thumb and index finger, I snatched the paper out of his pocket, taking care not to brush my hand against his body. I gingerly folded open the paper. You mean unfolded the paper, aware that some of the wetter spots could fall apart immediately. Found a message written inside. That's some very ugly handwriting. Do you recognise it?
No.
A lot of the text is unreadable. Whoever wrote this probably used a low-quality pen. Although, at the bottom of the page, fragments of a message were still visible. Secret, 8:15 AM, boiler room, close the door. Ah. So this is like Trigger Happy Havoc case 3. Someone has asked Wolfgang to come down here at a certain time, have they? So he might have actually been dead quite a while then. Ooh, okay. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? Seems like someone wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here.
I see.
Could that someone be the culprit? I think they're going to suspect you, Damon, since you technically had his envelope, but obviously it's not us.
Not sure.
8:15 AM. That's a long time before time of death, though. Actually, that's true. It did say the time of death in the Tozu trinket, Tozu tablet was 9:35. So did he not come down here immediately then? Maybe there's a struggle. Or maybe Wolfgang arrived late.
There must be something.
Or another possibility, maybe that message wasn't meant for him. It was meant for someone else. To bring someone else down here. Because I've raised that possibility that there could be a third person down here who maybe the killer brought down here, knocked out, hid them away as a way of, potentially trying to sort of frame them, and that's who we heard running away through the corridor during the blackout. So it could be that Wolfgang maybe found that message just lying on the floor because the person who was knocked out dropped it, assuming that I'm on the right lines there. Either way, this message is definitely a valuable clue. It's our only insight into Wolfgang's movements before his death.
Well,
Now I really want to know where everyone were at that time. I woke up at 8:30 AM this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. Kai was the one, obviously, who woke us up. So he was technically awake before we were. Technically. So does that rule him out, or could he have been doing something? I don't know. It's only 35 minutes before the tournament. Cassidy, Jet, and Mark and I would have already been in dining hall.
Right.
Right, setting up equipment.
That's...
As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 AM might be risky,
where?
because they would wonder where we got time from. Exactly. I prefer to keep this note between the two of us, at least for now. Okay.
Anyways.
Anyway, this thing about secret, what do you think that means?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really sure. Could be referring to out. Anything, huh? You know what it means?
I know.
I have an idea. The author of this letter might be talking about Wolfgang's blackmail.
Huh.
If they claimed to have it, they could have baited him here without much issue. After all, Wolfgang asked us to meet with person whose blackmail we had. True.
Strange.
A derelict boiler room... Oh wait, I was giving Ava's voice then to Damon, wasn't I? A derelict boiler room's a pretty ominous place to meet someone, though. Would have been Wolfgang's first time here too, assuming he didn't explore this here floor beforehand.
What could it be?
Either he didn't see super obvious danger in meeting here alone, or he did realise and just didn't care. Or maybe one of the objects, like the taser, could well be something that he brought with him for self-defence. Because to me that would possibly make sense. Because a taser obviously is a non-lethal weapon. Wolfgang doesn't want to see anyone die, but a taser would be ideal if you need to defend yourself without killing somebody.
Right.
Does that change anything about what I said? Well, duh. If Wolfgang knew warning signs, his reason for coming might have less to do with integrity,
You see?
more to do with desperation.
Huh?
Desperation? To know details of his blackmail,
I see.
it would stand to reason. If only Wolfgang had hidden this note somewhere safe instead of bringing it here, it would have been valuable evidence. I doubt he could have envisioned something like this happening. He was never really on his guard during this killing game, except around you and me, I guess. So that was his blazer. What about his hand? I wonder if we can look at his trinket as well. I wonder if that tells us anything. With the way Wolfgang was slumped over the platform, it almost looked like he'd fallen on top of it.
Focus.
Let me see if his palms are scratched. So knelt down to take a closer look.
Huh?
Trickling out from under the cuff of Wolfgang's sleeve and onto the rest of his hand, a strange injury that looked a lot like a tree sapling. Has he actually been poisoned? Huh. Okay, I've got an idea. So, I've been operating under the assumption at the moment that maybe Wolfgang was electrocuted. I'm starting to wonder if that's actually what happened. The taser. So, Wolfgang didn't bring the taser. Could it be possible? Here's what I'm putting down as a possibility. Jean obviously mentioned a strange smell, like a chemical reaction. Damon commented that when he looked at the taser there were bits of plastic lying around it, but he can't really tell whether it's been fired or not. But Ulysses found that little piece of scrap metal that is very thin and looks like it could be a wire or some form of internal electrical component. Has someone modified the taser to fire maybe like a, I don't know, a poison dart or something? Something like that. It's also interesting, obviously, that he's like drooling out there as though maybe he's been frothing at the mouth a bit or something. Was this a burn mark? Oh, never mind. I looked at Wolfgang's other hand, I saw the same thing. Is it a burn? So is that from the generator combusting? Markings that seem to extend down the arm.
The hell?
Ava, look at this.
Hello.
Let me see. Yeah, burn marks. Okay, no, we're going with them being burn marks. Which would line up with the generator combusting, I guess. That's really horrible. Like gross little veins. What inflicted them?
That's...
There's a taser a little ways off from where we're standing, but couldn't find anything to indicate it's been fired. So the only other thing I can think of is the generator.
Is that really true?
Right, generator.
I know.
The thing has clearly been destroyed by something. Maybe Wolfgang got caught in that something and that's how he died?
Not sure.
I'm not sure. Generator seems too far away from where Wolfgang is lying to cause burns like these. I mean, could be that it didn't immediately kill him, maybe just staggered and then slumped over.
Look at this.
Plus, the room's water isn't conductive, so electricity couldn't have travelled through it. Oh, isn't it? Well, okay, so you're probably just basing that on the light bulb experiment a moment ago.
Right.
You're right. Anything able to melt the generator's wires would have burnt his suit to... Okay, actually, yeah, that's a good point as well. So maybe it is the poison thing that I was mentioning a moment ago. Maybe it does bring us back to that. Yeah, you gotta think laterally sometimes. Exactly.
Thinking.
I think Wolfgang received these burns outside the boiler room. Okay. There's just nothing here that could leave these ear markings. So someone shot him? Or attacked him at least? Before he came here? As for actual place he got burnt, guess we'll have to try and find it ourselves. Okay, so the boiler room is a red herring, possibly, to try and obfuscate where he was killed. Okay, there's going to be a lot to this, I think. That is, if such a place even exists. Well, it's possible the generator may not have been involved in the murder. It seemed unlikely that Wolfgang made a detour for the boiler room after being severely burnt. After all, burns like his would definitely paralyse someone. As for Wolfgang's palms, didn't have any markings on them. Still, he must have fallen somehow, or else would he be lying on the platform? Weird. Okay, what about his face? Let's look at the fact he's drooling, and what's that streak in his hair? That streak definitely wasn't always there, it's definitely blood. Didn't seem to be any strange markings on Wolfgang's face. However, along the back of his neck was a massive bruise. Huh. Looks like a real bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discoloured.
Damn.
Right. How'd he get this on the back of his neck? Nothing round us seems to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if it's a sign of his body decomposing?
That's...
Can a body really decompose this fast? No, I don't think so. It could, or it could not. Unless we're implying that he was murdered actually before today. His body's just been moved into here now. Probably depends on the environment. As in the temperature.
Correct.
Cold places are generally better at preserving things than warm. Humid areas like this boiler room. Sorry, warm humid areas like this boiler room.
Thinking.
Kinda like dairy products, that's a good comparison. A tone-deaf one, but sure. Wolfgang didn't have this bruise yesterday, at the very least. If he did, it would have been super noticeable.
fair.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's true. Hot, wet environments, decomposition does set in a lot faster. Turning my attention back to Wolfgang, I caught something else on his body. Near the mark on his neck, but not directly overlapping it. A red dot. That's got to be where he's been hit by a dart. Surely. I'm telling you, it's got to be. He's got to be poisoned. By some corrosive substance, potentially, hence the burns. The fact that, obviously, all his veins are standing out, maybe. Is that a beauty mark? Doesn't look like it. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. Reminds me of a popped pimple. The sort of wound you could easily inflict on yourself.
So...
And you don't think this is related to murder? might not be, but...
There must be something.
Sorry, I was going Ava's voice with Damon then. Judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so you may as well keep it in mind. Okay, I'm sort of leaning now towards the idea that maybe someone modified a taser and shot him with a poison dart. Which I feel like is going to shift a lot of suspicion potentially onto Desmond, but is it going to be that straightforward? I feel like it may not be. It seemed to be everything I could gather.
Hello.
Hey, Damon. Since we've inspected Boiler Room, we should find students who left and ask them for their testimonies.
Right.
They went upstairs to investigate Wolfgang's dorm, right? Yeah, because of what I said earlier. Victims' last known whereabouts at best places to search for clues.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what they've been up to. Apart from collecting testimonies, there were two other matters on my mind. One, getting Desmond to inspect the taser gun, and two, pinpointing exactly when the blackout occurred, in case it happened at the time of the murder. I walked over to the boiler room door, which had been left slightly ajar. But as I began to pull it the rest of the way open...
Eh?
I noticed it. What have you noticed, buddy? The doorknob. Something about it looked different. Okay, I'm gonna need you to explain here, Damon. Because I'm trying to cast my mind back to every other time we've been down here and I've never paid attention to the doorknob, so...
I...
Hey, Ava, the doorknob, I think it's been flipped. What do you mean? Or is it... Wait, what? Flipped? Are you sure? What? As in... Flipped upside down? As in the knob was on the bottom and the keyhole was above? Take a look for yourself. First time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure this lock was on the inside, not... Oh. What?
Is that really true?
How would someone be able to flip a doorknob, though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, probably. Okay. Why didn't you say something earlier?
Huh?
What do you mean? It's the first time I've noticed it.
Is that really true?
Really? You didn't notice it back when you entered Boiler Room with Kai? No. Not even then. Might have been because of the darkness of my own nerves. But back then I wasn't paying attention to small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room.
Anyways.
I know that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
No, it's fine. That is one of those small details that you would easily overlook. It's okay. I mean, I probably would have noticed doorknob had I been there, but that's beside the point. Okay. That's where you're going with it, are you? You'd be like, oh, I would have seen it. Alright. Anyway, this discovery paints an interesting picture. Since the lock was now accessible from the hallway, you could technically lock the boiler room shut without ever stepping foot in it. Meaning that if you wanted to lock someone inside the boiler room, all we have to do is lure them in and close the door behind them.
Moving on.
So did someone shut Wolfgang in here? God, I don't know. Come on, we need to collect people's testimonies before the investigation ends. Alright, let's go. This is a weird one, okay. There's definitely nothing else. Did it have a thing then for the water? No, it didn't. No, shrapnel's there. Cord. Oh. Okay, can't look at the cord from here. Look at the taser, but... Well, I guess that's everything then. Sure you want to leave? Yep. I doubt there'll be anything else if it's letting us leave this area. Alright, up to Wolfgang's dorm then. Should we not bring Ulysses with us maybe? Unless he's still technically documenting everything going on in there. As a million questions rattled away in my mind, I followed Ava out of the boiler room. Oh. Cassidy? Actually, Ava, before we go upstairs, it's probably worth checking out the storage closets first. Why?
I know.
Found something in the boiler room that might be related to them. Judging by the length, yeah, the extension cord. Just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. And the internal end been severed off and the cord burnt after. I didn't see this in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe. Extension cord. We should confirm if it did indeed come from a storage closet. Okay.
However...
But first I want to talk to Cassidy.
Come again?
You want to talk to her? Aye, I want to talk to her. Is that bad? She wasn't much help last investigation. Well, any help is better than no help, you bugger.
Fair.
Alright, I'll talk to Cassidy first and then I'll investigate the storage closets on this floor. Yeah. Come on, Damon, you need to find alibis. That's what you need to do. Have you already forgotten? Cassidy was pacing around the hallway with a finger on her chin, seemingly doing nothing.
Yo!
Oh, hey guys! Sorry for not noticing you sooner. I was pulling a super sweep down of this here hallway. It's a lot of words for wandering around aimlessly.
Listen to me.
Can you put your sweep down on hold? I have a really important question.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Just don't drag it on too long, Kay. Got to finish my sweep down before time's up.
You see?
Do you remember who attended tournament? The game tournament? That's going northern. What am I doing? Huh. Everyone who was slated to join kept their word, so we had a full house.
What about...
There were 8 people in total. Jet, Mark, Grace, John, Kai, and the 3 of us.
Huh?
Something on your mind? Well, since murder happened in Boiler Room,
Well?
wouldn't that mean everyone in Dining Hall has an alibi?
Ooh!
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. She's totally right. Wow, really? Come on, Damon. The thought had not even occurred to you? Also, since we split into pairs while investigating those rooms down Thal, every pairing can vouch for each other.
Right.
Can they, though? That's the question. Kinda depends if this was a trap that was set up and engineered beforehand. If it was, you know, really premeditated. If someone set something up with the intention of killing someone in a way that didn't require them to be physically present. Right, we all split up. What were the groups again?
Yep.
Jed and I explored Storage Closet B.
Eh?
Storage Closet B?
Check it out!
That's what it's called on the map. Does she mean the map of the Tozu trinket? I activated my trinket and sure enough, see, Storage Closet B. There's also Storage Closet A, Storage Closet C, and Storage Closet D. Those are definitely the rooms we explored. Okay.
I see.
Hopefully he'll give us a truth bullet that tells us who was in which room. Obviously, we were with Kai, weren't we? Cassidy said did Cassidy say just say she was with Jet? In that case, Kai and I must have explored Storage Closet C. I remember it clearly. The 2 of us checked the closet above and opposite the one Cassidy searched. According to this map, the only closet to fit those perimeters is Storage Closet C.
Correct.
Grace and I investigated closet directly next to Damon's, so we must have been inside Storage Closet A.
Yeah.
Which leaves Mark and Jean with Storage Closet D. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, good. Let's put that in. You know, Damo, since you're here,
Question.
what's the deal with you in the boiler room?
Huh?
What? When Kai told us party peeps about Wolfie, he said you 2 went inside the boiler room.
How?
The heck did you do that for? You're supposed to check out the storage closet.
No.
You're not casting suspicion on me, are you?
Uh,
Me? No way! As far as Cass is concerned, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise. Dude, just tell her that you investigated it and then heard something. I investigated the storage closet with Kai, we just didn't find anything inside.
Anyway.
Although, we did hear someone run down the hallway.
am I hearing you right?
For real? Yep. Man, unlucky. All that work for nothing. What's the plan now? Do we just, like, go back outside? Let's check out how the people next door are doing. Yes. That. Suddenly I heard frantic footsteps echoing from the hallway outside.
Doubt it.
Weird. I don't remember any footsteps. Yeah, I was about to ask the question. Surely someone else must have heard this, apart from the 2 of us, but... So, the thought that's just occurred to me is that if she didn't hear it, what about everyone else who was down here in the storage closets? And if they didn't hear it, then... I don't know. Okay, well, we know that obviously the boiler room has a vent that connects to the dining hall. Does the storage closet that Kai and Damon are in also have a vent that connects somewhere? Close, the vent might be close to the door or something. And is it possible that what they heard, the footsteps were not from the hallway, but actually from echoing down the vent from somewhere else?
It's the truth.
I do. Oh.
Really?
Okay, no, Ava remembers. Ava, did you really? I heard them while Grace and I were investigating the storage room next to yours.
However,
I just brushed it off as my imagination, though. Guess me and Jet must have been talking over them. Were those footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damo? It's Damon, and yeah, they came from the direction of that room, so I wanted to see what the person was running from.
For real?
Phew, really? I just chased after the footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room after something like that, you weren't scared a murderer was hiding inside? What I actually discovered wasn't much better. True. Then whose footsteps could those have been? I don't know why anyone would want to be running around those spooky hallways, let alone in the dark.
What about...
Unless, ooh, maybe they're also looking for a backup generator?
That's not important.
I doubt it's that innocent. Considering the place this person ran away from was the crime scene, those footsteps were probably the killers. Possibly. But it also depends on, like I say, the whole body discovery system. Is it 3 people have to discover it and one of them can't be the murderer? Because if that is the case, then that changes a lot of things. Apologies again if it actually explained this in the prologue, but obviously it's been so long since I played the prologue, there will be certain details that I've probably forgotten. You mean fresh off committing the murder?
Right.
Fresh off the murder or a bit after, depends what time we went downstairs. Either way, whether it was immediately after the murder or not, for a brief moment the only thing separating us from Wolfgang's killer were the storage room walls. It's creepy to think about. Right, we've finally added that. Thus, bit by bit, the mystery slowly unravels.
My genius is almost frightening.
No need to thank me, just all in a day's work. She didn't even do anything. Well, just let her have this, okay? Hey, have you got anything else to say about any of this? Okay. You trying to be adorable? I mean, that is kind of an adorable sprite.
Interesting.
Wow, that was easy.
The hell?
Why did you do that? See if you were nervous.
Seriously?
Of course I'm nervous. You were nervous earlier.
No.
Earlier, yeah, but not anymore.
Moving on.
Anyway, you shouldn't be so nervous. If you're too nervous, you won't be able to think straight, so you should calm down. Easier said than done.
Well,
Well, we've already investigated really ugly stuff, right? You don't need to think about that stuff for now. Just focus on collecting people's testimonies.
listen to me.
I can keep reminding you if you want. I'll be fine. You see, I probably could have actually missed that little exchange then if I just wandered off up the hallway. Hey Cass, did you see that? You see the way she jump scared Damon? Wasn't that funny? Ava and Grace explored storage closet A, Jet and I explored storage closet B, you and Kai explored C, and Mark and Jean explored D.
Yep.
Yep, that's definitely the order. Okay, so she's just going to remind us of that. We will see Jean and Mark D, Ava and Grace A, Jet and Cassidy B. Wait, we actually want to go in one of these. Oh, shoot. Hang on, let me look at the friggin' actual truth bullets here. Storage closets. Okay, so C is, yeah, okay, right. So C is on the left, just before the corner. Right, hold on. So can I go in there and just check that? Will it let me? Yeah, we can. I don't know if there'll be anything in here, but it's worth investigating just to see. Good to see you come in here with me. This was the closet kind I explored. It's hard to get a good look at its contents in the dark, but seeing it now,
I see.
doesn't seem to be anything important here. I think we can move on. Aye. Okay. Okay, well, I guess that's just the game's way of saying, nope, nothing in here. Well, it's definitely pushing me to get people's testimony, so it's pushing me very much to go and talk to people, which is fine. I guess it's probably not worth looking at the other ones, I guess. So, go on, Ava, let's head upstairs to Wolfgang's dorm. Heading upstairs a bit... Oh, never mind. Oh, you want me to look at the other ones? Okay, sure. We can do that. Alright, that was C. Let's look at D then. Let's take a look at the D, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on in this one? Anything?
Look.
This is storage closet D.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark and Jean explored this one. See what I can find here. Is there out weird about this room?
That's...
I think I see something behind this pile of boxes. Stood on my tiptoes to get a better look, and...
Jeez.
So they really are here.
Well?
Extension cords? What's here? Yes. Extension cords, a whole bunch of them.
Strange.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, these are definitely the same type of cord I saw in the boiler room. Only difference is these still have their other half intact. They're also bound with little strips of wire, if you can see. You know how when you order something off Amazon and it has wires attached and the wires are all bunched up and tied up with that little plastic wire? I don't suppose that's the wire that Ulysses had noted in the boiler room maybe then? Not the internal components of a taser? I don't know. Internal plugs are pretty slim compared to other kinds of cords. The fact these cords match the one in the boiler means the killer must have rummaged through these closets for equipment. For what reason they needed the cord, I had no idea. This was still a step in the right direction. Okay, that's been updated. Besides that box of cords, nothing else about this room is standing out to me.
So,
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Is it worth checking the other closets then? I mean, I can do it while I'm here. We can have a check. See what deal is and all that. Alright, that's C over there. Kinda wish when you moused over it it'd say the letter, but that's fine. Right, let's look at this one then. Was this A or B? I can't remember. It'll probably say in a second. Okay, this is storage closet A.
Yeah.
Let's take a look around. So I began to inspect the shelves. The glint of something shiny caught. Okay, there is stuff to find here.
That's...
Ava, look. There's a rolling pin here and handprints on it too.
strange.
What are you implying? Someone used this recently and not for its intended purpose. Anyway, if you did comment that Wolfgang had a bruise on the back of his neck, did someone smack him with a rolling pin? Interesting.
I know.
Look, can you see how the handprints are at the base of the pin? You aren't rolling much dough if you're wielding this thing like a tennis racket, are you? Pin is also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean like the other utensils there. I agreed. Not only that,
Jeez.
right, there's a dent on the pin too. Really? On the end opposite the handprints, can you see it?
Weird.
Ah, yeah, I can see that. Handprints and a dent, that's definitely not a coincidence.
Focus.
Could this pin have something to do with that mark we found on Wolfgang's neck? I'm going Ava's voice for Damon for some reason. If it was used to knock him out, it would not only explain the dent on the pin, but the bruise on Wolfgang's neck. Must be a pretty flimsy rolling pin if it dented it, just from whacking it into Wolfgang's neck. How did it make its way into this closet, though?
Huh?
What do you mean? How did the pin make its way into the closet after the killer used it? I mean, that's the question. That's why the time here is very important. We need to ascertain if the blackout occurred roughly the same time as the murder. Because it could be someone killed Wolfgang, came in here, put the pin back, if it was part of it. Oh.
There must be something.
I mean, if the footsteps Kai and I heard were the killers, they probably chucked the pin in here on their way out. Yeah, but that
Absolutely
can't
not.
be possible because people were in here. No, that's not what happened.
Huh?
If killer entered this closet and hid rolling pin,
Listen to me.
Grace and I would have seen them. Crap, of course, she and Grace were investigating this closet at the time. What if the killer placed the pin in here before any of us came downstairs?
Save it.
If they're out in hallway, why didn't they use that as their chance to escape? I bet she's right about that too. Could this rolling pin really be unrelated? But it lines up so well with the other evidence. Well, we'll make a note of it.
Moving on.
The fact that it's in our truth bullets means we're going to discuss it anyway at some point, so... Okay, I don't think there's anything else to this room. Let's keep investigating. One moment she's speaking nonsense, the next she's totally coherent. I don't think I'll ever understand this girl. I guess that's everything then in here. You're not going to jump scare me again, are you, Ava? Alright. It was adorable when she did it, though. Let's have a look at this one. We'll just check. Evidently there is stuff to find here, so... Is there anything in this one, or...
Interesting.
The map says this is storage closet B.
Right.
The closet Cassidy and Jet explored.
Look.
Do you see that?
Eh?
See what? The box in corner over there. Look. Also, I like how the boxes have Damien Industries written on them. Is that a reference to something? I don't know. Confused, I turned to see where she was pointing. This is... Oh, what? What are we looking at? I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
A generator, right? The one you were referring to during the blackout?
Correct.
Ah. Interesting. That Kestian Jet did not mention this. Aye, exactly. Since I've explored these rooms before, I knew one of them had a backup.
That...
This closet has the backup generator. Wouldn't that mean the ones who restored the power?
Thinking.
Well, if Kestian Jet were only people who entered this here room, and they're the people who brought the power back, so I'm surprised those two actually knew how to navigate a generator. Well, Jet might, have a bit of an idea as a drag racer, and he might have a bit of, technical know-how. Possibly. Interesting, Cassidy obviously hasn't mentioned that, but we might be able to vouch for it later if we talk to Jet. Seems to be all there is to this closet. We've looked through all closets now.
So...
Did you find everything you needed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. The rolling pin and that stack of extension cords. There's no doubting their relevance to this case, at least based on what I've investigated so far.
Anyway.
Ava, let's go upstairs and collect some more testimonies.
Where?
Finally. She was bored with us, was she? Alright. What I'm just going to do is... I'm just going to take a jump cut, ladies and gentlemen, because I kind of just need to go to the bathroom for a second, and also I think I might make myself another hot drink, maybe a cup of tea or something, so just 1 second all. Oh, this is what I wanted to get to. Okay. Welcome to Castleton, please drive carefully. Holy shit, what's happened over there? Is that fucking... Oh, I reckon I know what that is. That's probably an alien capsule. I mean, surprising how little damage is done to the surrounding area. It's just come down in the middle of the street. There's another one over on that side. What do we got? Hope Valley, the Hilltop Free House. We've got a little telephone booth over here. Oh man, you see, this just makes me want to scratch that exploration itch. Visitor information. Welcome to Castleton. I mean, can't really read, that's too small. See, they've got the police diversion signs. Yeah. Oh, Jesus.